I'm going down to the drugstore, buy a big old skein of yarn. I'm gonna knit me a kitten, even if you don't give a darn.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this episode of the We Are Yarn podcast. My name's Amanda. I am podcasting to you from the beautiful East Tennessee area today. Bugs. I was inspired to come out and podcast while watching Down the Hobbit Hole with Emily, who's just down the road. She podcasted several days ago when it was still pretty, and then it was not pretty for several days, but now it's beautiful again. A little cool, but that's okay. But I thought I'd come out and sit out here and do a little podcasting. So, it's the faux show today, folks. I've been amazingly monogamous. I think because I'm trying to get things off my needles so that when the Hohi Locatelli knit-along, mystery knit-along starts, I can get on board with that. I wound up my yarn for that yesterday and I left it inside, so you'll get to see it next week after I've cast on, I'm sure. Well, just fair warning, I may not podcast next week. I'm actually supposed to be working right now, but I swapped weekends with another pharmacist, and I'm going to be working 10 days in a row, and 2 of those are overnights, and it's not going to be fun, but I'll make it through somehow. The things we do for our friends, right? I didn't want him to have to cancel his fabulous trip to Alaska because he couldn't get anybody to switch with him. Alright, so I have several FOs, and I'm going to show them to you now. The first, I have not blocked it, which is why it has a note reminding me to block it. You know, you do things you gotta do. I probably won't have an opportunity to wear this until the fall, and I may not block it until it's closer to time to wear it. I live, in case you're wondering, very near the airport. And there goes a plane. So I'm sorry for the background noise, but you know, you can't help it. Anyway, so this is my Lila cowl is the actual name of the pattern. I don't know who it's by, but this was a Luxe Adorna kit fun bundle, and this is what I have left, fun size bundle, and these are my little tiny mini skeins of my leftover yarn. The first one was this tiny little skein, and I was really, you know, I had talked about how I was thinking about doing one more chevron with 2 rounds of each color just to throw something fun in there. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I didn't because it's beautiful. But honestly, I kind of wish I had because it is just a little bit shorter than I thought. Where was I? Lila cowl, fun bundle. It's beautiful. It is so elegant. So elegant. So I'm glad I didn't do that. That first little bundle, I didn't think I would have enough. I may have, really, in the end. But I'm glad I didn't because it's lovely. It is a little bit shorter than it was in than the sample was in the shop. Here, I'm going to turn that to the back so you can see. Because in the shop, I was still able to kind of stretch it and double it, and there's, no way. I'm hoping that after a wash and a block, it kind of stretches out a little bit. I did not like my fabric on what they called for, which was a size 5, so I went down to a size 4 needle. I don't know if I'd stuck with that size 5, if it might have used up a little bit more of my colors, and been that length. I'm sure it would have, but I'm pleased with it the way it is. If this is how long it's going to be, this is how long it's going to be, and it's beautiful, and it'll be nice, and I'll be happy with it. And it's cashmere and amazing. I did have a little bit of trouble when I was doing the Kitchener. Let me show you. Oh wow, okay, maybe I did better than I thought because I can't tell which pretty certain this one is the, yeah, this is the Kitchener side. I had trouble with the Kitchener, just in case you've ever done it. I found myself, and maybe it's just because I'm tired, I found myself, you know, the mantra is, what is it? What I say to myself is knit off purl, and you go to the back, purl off knit. Knit off purl, purl off knit, knit off purl, purl off knit. And I found myself ignoring what I was telling myself to do and doing as if to knits when I should have been as if to purls. And I ended up with garter stitch for 10 or 12 stitches. I'm glad I was doing, you know, the save early, save often when you're working on a digital file. Check early, check often. And I'm glad I had done that. I'd stopped to look at my work and make sure it was all nice and even. And just those several stitches, pulling back out Kitchener stitch and figuring out where you are once you get it all straight, it was horrible, but I got it. It was good, and my bundle is finished, and I'm so pleased with it. That was a complete 100% impulse buy at Black Mountain Fiber Arts in Black Mountain, North Carolina. And I'm so, so glad I fell down that hole and did it. Another thing that I finished, I don't know if I showed this to you guys before, but this was a spin that I'm pretty certain I completed it. I don't even know when I completed it. I think I finished the actual spin of it when I was in North Carolina. So maybe in April. I didn't mark it on my Ravelry. I was bad. But anyway, so this is a chain plod, Nerd Girls. And I just got it off the bobbin yesterday. This was gifted to me by my dear friend Wendy. It was a Fiber of the Month Club. It says I received it 10/14/2014. So it marinated for a while. So colorway You Have Failed This City from Arrow, which I have not watched. I feel like I should though. But yeah, so chain plot, I have no idea how much yardage I got. Don't really care. It's horrible. When I spin, I'm very much a project spinner. No, process spinner. I just spin for the joy of spinning. I've stopped keeping count of how much yardage I have of things. I just eyeball it. Since this is a merino silk blend, 800, so I probably have 250 yards here ish. I don't know. I think it'll make a nice hat for the hubs. I don't know. We'll see. I very rarely knit with any of my handspun, but I'm pleased with that. I do have, like with the other, I need to set it. It hasn't been washed yet and thwacked and all that. And I thought about using this as my pop of color for the mystery knit along, Hohi's mystery knit along. And I apologize, I noticed last week too, I keep looking at the screen instead of you guys over here. I keep looking at me instead of you. I'm trying. But I thought I was going to use this in my mystery wrap, but it's some parts I would call fingering, most of it is DK worsted. So I decided that I would just keep it as in its own project. But this is 8 ounces of Knitting Colors frozen solid. So it's a merino bamboo blend. And I had this for many, many moons as well before I decided to spin it. I had originally thought that I would use it in a sweater and maybe stripe it with a gray, but I don't know if gray would really look the best with this. So I may just kind of sit on it for a while until some other inspiration strikes. But so since this is 8 ounces 2-ply, I may have 700 yards. I don't know, maybe 600. Because of how poofy it is, I bet it's probably more like 600. Alright, I wanted to show off a little bag I found today. No one showed up to my knitting group today. It's Sunday. Not a single person showed up. I was so disappointed. But as I was sitting at knitting group, you know, with no group, I finally decided just to go. And I tried to go to Tuesday morning, but they were still closed. So I went to Ross because they open early on Sundays. And they had this adorable bag. See? Look how cute. So it's see-through. Is the first reason I loved it. It has watermelons on it, which is amazingly summery. And it has a cute little watermelon dangly thing there. That has a word. I don't know. Charm. There you go. A little watermelon charm hanging off of it. And it just, I had to have it. And so this is going to be a new project bag for me. Yeah. You find project bags in the oddest places. I have way too many project bags. I don't know why. I thought I needed another one. I digress. Okay, so I wanted to share a bit of inspiration I had. You know, if you've been watching the podcast a while, that I very much have been trying very hard to knit for my stash. I've been making very few purchases and trying really hard because I have a beautiful stash, and all that yarn is, you know, it's sad when it's not being knit. It's really, that wind's picking up and making it kind of cold. You know what I should do is put on a beautiful cashmere cowl. Maybe having my neck warm will help. So I have this yarn. I've had it in my stash for God knows how long. I meant to check today and I forgot. Let me see if the tag has a, because I got it at Tuesday morning. Maybe 2009. That sounds about right. 8 years. This is Araucania Puin. I have 1,050 yards. It's yellows and greens and kind of a blue, teal blue there. It's really pretty. I have some balled up, so you can see that. Alright, so they say once you ball it up, that's more like what you can expect, right? When you knit it. So that's going. But it's this boucle action, see? And I have struggled with what to make for, you know, 9 years. I have made a copy of this. This is out of Vogue Knitting 2012. And so I guess I thought for a while I would make this with this little pocket and little detail, and it's like a cami kind of, not cami, a cardi kind of business. But I haven't been inspired to knit this. But I was wearing my boxy today because it's been kind of cool. I don't know if that's the best use for it. And today it dawned on me while I was wearing my boxy that this swath of stockinette would be perfect for all this boucle. I'm sorry for the rustling. For all this crazy boucle cotton business. What do you think? I even have a little swatch from way back in the day. Yeah. But I think that'd make us super fun. Boxy, what do you think? It's getting really cold now. But that's my inspiration. But now that I'm looking at that cardigan again, I'm like, oh, but that may be super fun. But would I wear it? I don't have any shirts really that match this. I think I just need to make it a boxy. I'm pretty certain I have enough to do it. And that's my inspiration. And I've actually managed to keep it at 15 minutes today, like is usually my plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe take a nap on this beautiful Sunday. I'm glad that I got outside to talk to you though and show you my finished objects and a little purchase and a little inspiration. And next time I talk to you, I'll probably be gabbing on for ages about the Starting Point Mystery Knit Along by Hohilo Godelli. And until then, happy knitting. I hope it all goes as you planned. Bye guys.
I just can't wait to finish. I got the kitten knitting blues. No, I just can't wait to finish. That's why I got those kitten knitting blues.
How's your recording? Hi guys.
I'm gonna cut this out.